It was about as good a night for Democrats as they could have asked for. They won a trio of high-profile races in New York. Zohran Mamdani, the 34-year-old Democratic Socialist, won the mayor's race there. Across the river in New Jersey, you had Mikey Sherrill, the former Navy pilot, who won going away in that state. And then in Virginia, you had Abby Spanberger, a former CIA officer, who also won very easily.
And I look forward to utilizing every single tool at my disposal as the next mayor of this city to fight for the people of it.
Ideologically, those Democrats were a bit different, right? So Mamdani, he's a Democratic Socialist. He had a lot of really ambitious policy proposals like freezing the rent, making buses free, and he wants to tax the wealthy to pay for all that.
And I am incredibly honored to be your next governor.
Sherrill and Spanberger are kind of more from the moderate wing of the party.
Virginia chose pragmatism over partisanship.
One thing that united all three of them, though, putting aside ideology, was that they all relentlessly focused on affordability, cost of living, the economic issues that voters still say is the most important issue to them. But I do think the lesson Democrats are taking from this is number one, to keep the focus on kitchen table issues. And number two, that once again, just as we saw in his first term, Trump's not that popular. And to the extent that he's popular with a certain segment of the electorate, he has a pretty difficult time in transmitting that popularity to other candidates. So when he's not on the ballot, there's a lot of voters who may turn out for him that don't turn out for other Republicans. And that's a real problem for the party next year.
We're proud. We're proud here in California to be part of this narrative.
For all the focus on the races in New York, New Jersey, Virginia, it's the California referendum that probably has the biggest concrete impact on the midterm elections. Voters there approved a new congressional map that is designed to flip 5 Republican seats in the midterms next year. That was a plan advanced by Democrats in direct response to what Texas Republicans did when they redrew a new map at Trump's request that targeted 5 Democrats there. And so if that had lost in California, Democrats really would have been starting the House race next year from behind the 8 ball. This kind of evens the playing field a little bit, although as we've seen, there's a number of Republican states and a couple of Democratic states that are already in the process of trying to redraw their own maps. Democrats really needed to show that they could still win elections, right? They're locked out of power in Washington after losing the presidency, the House, the Senate last year. They've been kind of wandering the political wilderness this whole year. Trump's been kind of running roughshod over all sorts of norms. And Democrats have spent most of the year kind of fighting amongst themselves about the best way to stand up to Trump. And that's all been incredibly frustrating for Democratic voters. And so I think for the party, simply winning these races and showing their supporters that they can field candidates who are strong and who can win these elections, even if they were in Democratic leading states, was incredibly important. And I think psychologically important for a lot of voters as well.